Joining me now is Senator Richard Blumenthal, Democrat from Connecticut. He's the state's former Attorney General, as well as a former prosecutor and U.S. Attorney. Senator, thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you so much.
Are you confident that Democrats will be able to pass meaningful gun legislation?
I am never confident of anything when it comes to the United States Congress, or I should say overconfident, but I am confident that we're going to fight for it because we are at a critical turning point. There is a kind of tectonic movement politically. The ground is shifting on this issue of gun violence protection. The president spoke very eloquently about it at the vigil Sunday night, and my colleagues actually have been revisiting their past positions, and I'm confident that we are in a different era when it comes to gun violence prevention, and we've got a real chance of banning assault weapons, stopping high-capacity magazines or clips, mental health intervention, right. All kinds of measures like that one.
But on top of that, and when we see the horrific scenes that has happened in your state and those that have been impacted in a real way, yet we see comments like Senator Shelby. Let me show you a response of Senator Shelby. He doesn't look like he's had a seismic change at all. Look at this.
But with Senator Feinstein reintroducing the assault weapons,
I would oppose those kind of things. That's not going to answer the question. It's who you got to find out who has access to those guns, especially where people are irrational, deranged, and so forth. But how do you define an assault weapon? It's very difficult.
He opposes an assault weapon ban. How will the Democrats be able to fight back and make sure there's a difference this time?
No question, you're right. There will be opposition. There always has been. But, you know, this slaughter of children, really of babies, was so brutal and so inhumane, horrible, unspeakable, unimaginable until it occurred, and even now difficult for people to grasp, that I think it has elicited a different kind of response from the more moderate and thoughtful of Republicans or Democrats. You know, public safety shouldn't be a partisan issue. When the police arrive at somebody's door, they don't ask, are you a Republican or Democrat? This issue shouldn't be about party differences. And colleagues of mine like Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Mark Warner of Virginia, and Harry Reid, the majority leader, who have been talking about the changing perceptions of this issue, I think can help us reach across the aisle, reach across divisions, even elicit some of the organizations that have been opposed to it in the past.
Now, you also see the smokescreen, Senator. Mike Huckabee, he made a comment that has become notorious now on Friday night, saying that Sandy Hook happened because we removed God from our schools. Let me play to you his soundbite.
We ask why there's violence in our schools, but we've systematically removed God from our schools. Should we be so surprised that schools would become a place of carnage because we've made it a place where we don't want to talk about eternity, life, what responsibility means, accountability?
And this is nothing against God or those of us that believe in God. You and I have been in some churches together during voter campaigns, so we definitely know and believe in church and respect to people's religion. But that's avoiding this issue about semi-automatic and automatic weapons and going off somewhere else that has nothing to do with the issues at hand that has so impacted your state and the nation.
Our state is still grieving from an act of inhumane slaughter committed with an assault weapon that was designed for military purposes. We need to focus on the safety of our children and avoid being distracted from the potential ban on assault weapons, the ban on high-capacity magazines that enabled this killer to kill so many innocent children.
You've been the state attorney general, you've been a prosecutor. You know that state all from one side to another, from Hartford to Newtown, from Stamford to New Haven. And this is a problem that is urban and suburban. If there's one issue that could bring everybody together, I think it's that everyone is living under siege now. And where it looked like an urban problem before, it's everywhere. Don't you think that the fact that now it is visited everywhere, that we have a tremendous opportunity to unite people around nothing should compromise us from protecting our children? We're talking about our babies now in elementary school.
The president made this point very powerfully Sunday night. We are failing our children, and it's not just the children of one community. And law enforcement knows very, very well how important this issue is, which is why they are the ones who are joining and saying to me, you need to do something. That is the mantra I've heard in Newtown from people there, from the citizens of communities across Connecticut, from law enforcement, and from guys who spent their lives trying to make the streets and neighborhoods safer. And they are the ones who say we are often outgunned by people with assault weapons that can pierce our armor. So the guards at schools,
wow,
who are supposedly, according to this idea that we're going to have guards in every school, would be very much endangered themselves and probably unable to stop a Bushmaster AR-15 of the kind that this individual had, with rounds of 30 clips each ready to blast away as he did at the entrance of that school building.
It's a very good point, Senator Blumenthal, and our thoughts and prayers are with the people in your state. In fact, I'm joining a vigil with them tonight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.